What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing you line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 94, being recorded on December 21st, 2020. And this is going to be our last live show of the year. We will be back next year at scheduled time, so make sure everybody subscribes to all our social medias and YouTube, so you get those notifications on when we do go back to a live schedule. And I say this is our last live show, but we still have stuff maybe coming out too. So another reason to hit that subscribe and that bell notification. So with that out of the way, I am your host, Darth Moocher, and I'm joined here with Scott Solo.
Hey, ho, 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 nerds. What's up?
Nice. Bootleg Joe.
Hey, yo.
And Ernie, the Fallen Fett.
Hey, guys, what's up?
Chris is on his wedding anniversary, so happy anniversary to Chris and Jessica's. So they're not going to be here. I thought he put Star Wars in front of everything, so I guess not, guys. I guess not.
That's not. Especially with all that Grand Admiral Thrawn stuff about to hit, right? I mean,
you think this would be the episode to, tell his wife, for my anniversary, I like the podcast. But
it's a good day to get married, Chris.
I know. And Mike is working. So
of course.
Yeah. So you guys, we're here to talk about, welcome chat room, everybody in the chat room. So, Scott, shout them out when they enter and everything, and other people filter in and out all day, right? So,
yeah, we've got Santo1414 and Mando Mike.
Awesome.
What's up, Santo? What's up, dudes?
Yeah, so feel free, Scott, I know. Chris is gonna love that one, by the way.
It's gonna be real hard for Marco today to not say Chris all the time.
It is.
When it's the anniversary part, it kind of always bugs him a little bit.
I know.
It's been
his hetero life made is
right,
elsewhere.
exactly.
Yeah.
He never remembers our anniversary.
Right. See. Yeah. You're always waiting to get those old line tickets from the first line you guys stood in.
I still have them too.
See,
framed. So we got so much to go over. We are going to go over The Rescue, episode 16 of season 2 of The Mandalorian.
You gave me goosebumps just saying the name of the episode.
Yeah, we got our finale, guys. We got our finale, and real fast. I mean, we did a reaction video, which is up on YouTube. Also, we did it at like 1:30 at night after the episode dropped. Was basically 4 men that just got over crying, staring at a computer screen, trying to compose ourselves. So we were all excited about that. Now that we've had time to digest this, episode and everything, do you guys are still ecstatic about this? Have you kind of like let it sink in? Because it's still sinking into me. So again, if I jumble this podcast, is because the episode has still grabbed me so hard. That's what she said. And I still have really hard time, because there's every time we get new information, we line talk it, right? We put it in its place. We put every single thing in the lore of Star Wars. And then with this episode, we got a lot just for it's like they gave us a little bit, but it opened up a world, So again, I'm still trying to wrap my head around a lot of things on the future of what things could mean. When we get into it, we'll discuss it more. So you guys still really loving this episode? Is this the best one of the season?
How many viewings are we at now? I'm at 4. I've only watched it 4 times.
I've got 3.
You guys? 3?
Yeah.
I've got like 8.
Really?
8? Wow.
Really?
Ernie?
Yeah, you guys suck. Are you serious? we're on a Star Wars podcast show.
Well,
4 and 3. I'm like over a dozen.
Are you really?
Nice. No,
it's the only thing that's on.
Yeah.
Like I was getting hit up by so many people talking about it.
Yeah.
And just everything I have to go through. So much of it. It was amazing.
Isn't it great to scroll your Facebook feed and it's just nothing but
oh yeah,
Star Wars is life. I love Star Wars. And I mean, people that are not that regularly post Star Wars stuff, it's that's 100%. It's just Star Wars talk, right?
Correct. Yeah. And then even the nons.
Even
the ones wanting to know, as you said, why did you cry?
Right.
Because, man, it's huge.
We said this, to each other and stuff, but this is the best piece of Star Wars that we got since the original trilogy, in my opinion. Heartfelt, meaningful. A lot of this stuff is words called thrown around fan service. They did a lot of fan service, and I want to dispute the term fan service just for a little bit, because besides a cameo here and an Easter egg here, that's to me fan service. This is everything they put into this season has been progressive storytelling, and every character in it serves a purpose. You know what I mean? It's more than fan service. It's like when we talk about Luke Skywalker's entrance to the Mandalorian, it served a purpose, and we talked about it on this show, right? We talked about the only Jedi, in my opinion, that can be doing this. I mean, 90% of it is Luke Skywalker could be the only one. I'm like, well, I don't know how they're going to do that. So Quinlan Vos, Cal Kestis, all these other names get thrown around. So I look at like when they did this whole Luke thing, I'm like, that's beyond my expectations because they had the guts to do that, and it's beyond fan service at this point. You know what I mean? It's serving the story narrative going forward. So I'm still in shock that they did it, and I'm also looking forward to the Gallery season 2 on December 25th when they drop that out. I need to see Filoni talk about everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. I don't think of it as fan service. I'm with you there. I mean, if fan service
yes
is
and no, right? But yeah,
bringing in these characters that help push a plot forward that everybody's ever wanted to see, if that's considered fan service, fine.
Yeah.
If you want to call it fan service, great. Just keep doing it because I want more.
Right. The end credits that we got, because we're going to talk about the end credits real fast, right? The Boba Fett coming in Jabba's palace, that is can be considered fan service until that ended and it said the Book of Boba Fett coming out. That was a shock to a lot of people. Ernie got his wish, I think, and the way they're doing it is right, because we even said I said that on this show I wanted Boba Fett as a character in The Mandalorian, not so much a standalone series, right? But the way they're doing it, how it's taken it completely off and saying the Book of Fett, I couldn't help but just like really, really get excited. And now it's confirmed that it's a standalone series. Next December will be premiering, and then they said Mandalorian season 3 will be starting filming. So we have a whole year of Mandalorian season 3 not even filming. So we'll have to wait until the end of 2022 for Mandalorian season 3. I'm assuming.
I thought the season 3 of Mandalorian was going to start filming as soon as Boba Fett was done filming.
And we're already in production on Boba Fett.
Yeah. So I don't know, Scott. I know that Jon Favreau tweeted out that statement as it's going to be a standalone film, and we're going to get. I thought I saw somewhere where it said we'll begin season 3 after the Fett drops, but it could be it's simultaneously. I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
The interview that Scott put up earlier on that was saying we're already in pre-production on Fett, and then when we roll that out, then it goes into Mando 3. So I think we're still going to get Mando in 2021.
So the series, back-to-back series like that.
Correct.
Like,
yes.
Okay. That even better.
As we go into.
Yeah. Even better, right? Like
right.
So they're pretty much gonna be going side by side as far as production wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, soon here we got to look at with all the announcements that we've got and stuff that's going on. We're gonna have shows. Monthly.
Yeah. Eventually, yes.
It's basically going to be into the month end. So December is Mando month.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And then so on and so forth as far as, November will be Ahsoka. October is going to be like that. And so it's just all going to keep rolling down like that. It's going to be amazing.
It is, man. We're playing catch up a little bit, right? With this everything being down and we had the theatrical releases and we were cool with that, but now it's going to take some time for all those shows to get into that development stage where they're dropping after one ends, one bit picks up, maybe one picks up right in the middle of the other one. So wow, just wow. But let's talk about the Fett real fast, because that is the spoiler at the end of the series, the Book of Fett. I mean, we got that cutscene, and how fantastic was that cutscene? Oh my God, dude! Like, we go to Jabba's palace, and Bib Fortuna is there. He's all fat and sitting on Jabba's throne, his own throne with his own, Twi'lek slave.
Don't want a cheeseburger.
I love
exactly
that.
what he was doing.
You know, and then Fennec and Fett come over and just kill everybody and take over, right? But how cool is that? Like, how freaking cool is that? Ernie, come on, you lead it off with that. We have to talk about.
Dude,
the
it was
teaser.
amazing. I mean, you roll through, you got all the feels, and then all of a sudden credits roll, and then you get that
There's
scene,
more.
and
Yeah.
you see his palace, and you're like, no freaking way.
Yeah.
And then you get everybody inside, and yes, then you're like, whoa, a fat bib. Like, that's hilarious. Wow.
Yeah.
And then he's on a throne, then here comes, her shadow, and they just start blasting on everybody, and you're trying to comprehend and catch. And then you just hear him walking down the stairs, dude. And you get the whole banter between them real quick, like, oh, I thought you were dead. And then just straight blast him. And that whole...
Not even a word spoken.
No. He sits in the throne, like, in my head, like, dude, he just took over the Hutt cartel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, immediately. And I'm like, what is going on here? And then she poses.
The pose is perfect. Yeah.
Grabs the bottle, poses along, like, dude, I want that gentle giant statue.
Yeah.
Like, now. Like, I want, like, right here. I want it here. Like, that's just, it was set up for that.
It was, man.
And then, the Book of Fett, and your mind just starts rolling like, no way.
I missed the Book of Fett because you know how, on Disney Plus, how it goes real small at the corner and roll the rest of the credits sometimes?
Yeah.
I don't know if yours does it. So I saw the end credits, and I didn't see where it said Book of Fett. So when we did a reaction, and the guys are talking about it, I'm like, where'd you see that? Like, I didn't know it's coming, December 2021. I didn't know that until, like, it had to hit me. And then I was, like, blown back even further. Like, I thought that was just this is where Boba Fett ended up, like I said, fan service thing. But wow, man, like I said, that pose, that iconic Fennec and Boba Fett pose is going to be something that's ingrained in us now, right?
I already love the duo.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, I'm not even mad at it. I want to see, like, how close are they?
Yeah.
What's their story? I mean...
Well, speaking of story, what do you guys speculate? Like, let's speculate a little bit.
I absolutely, just the tonal shift in Boba Fett from the last episode to the end of this episode was great.
Yeah.
I mean, he went from being a really noble character. Yes, we won't end until we're done helping you rescue the child. And then, job done. Let's go blow some crap up. Let's go shoot some people.
Right.
And I just came out of left field. I was not expecting that. It just shocked me.
And then the people that we get shot.
Yeah.
You're like, and so, there's, and then they're gone. And you're like, holy crap.
Never mind.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Yeah. So I'm interested in this character development. Yeah.
Before we hit Joey's reaction,
yes,
we do got more people in the chat right now with us. We got Giovanni, Donald's here, Adam. Let's see, who else did I see? I know Mando Mike has joined us. We want to know your guys' theories too.
Yes, please.
So please type them up so we could see them. Like, when all that went down, what do you think is going to happen? All right, so to bootleg Joe, you saw it. What totally did you think?
First thing, it's going to be a crime syndicate type story, and it's going to be hopefully remember when they had those rumors about a Jabba the Hutt story being like a underground crime syndicate thing?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do it with this, and it's
perfect for it, right?
I just remember all the rumors about a Boba Fett movie, and that we were going to get a Boba Fett movie. And how much cooler is this? Because instead of having a 2-hour Boba Fett movie, we're going to have how many hours of a series of Boba Fett doing Boba Fett things? I mean, come on.
No.
Yeah.
So much cooler.
I was totally with you on saying when, he comes in and you get this, I want my armor back. And this was my father. And then you get, like you said, we're going to help you because now he's into this honor system, right? And you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then that he saved Fennec. And so Fennec's honoring that honor system too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sticking with them.
Yeah.
And now to see them go in and take this over, that's the first thing in my head, like I said, is he's taking over the Hutt cartel. That's what I've had to explain to so many people. Like, where is this going? But then we met up with each other on Saturday, and Chris wanted to throw out there, and I'll bring it up because he's not here, is that saying Mandalore stuff is in books? How they explain their stuff is in books like that. So to hear the Book of Fett, like he was saying? Is that what it's trying to explain? So I would like that too. I mean, if we're going off of anything, I'm with Joe on a crime syndicate thing. Yes, we had rumors of that. I do hope that we're getting like stories in between though.
Yeah. Well,
of you know, how he escaped.
Yeah. So
how did he get Fennec? Where has he been?
Yeah, going by that end credits, you would think it's a story going forward, correct? Because they're, he's taken over the palace and that. And then Daniel Spiker in the chat said, "Is he going to take over the guild?" And that would be interesting too. The Bounty Hunters Guild too.
That would be, because I mean, it doesn't look like Grief was really running the guild anymore. He's just doing his own magistrate thing.
He's doing good guy stuff now, right?
Yeah.
And that's like his world. You're right.
Yeah, and I do want to see this flashback thing. I do want to see maybe some older stuff that, like, Fett's tagline is the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. That's what his thing was in the EU books and all that stuff. I need to see that, right? I want to see why he was so feared. I know why in the EU books and the Boba Fett books and the Han Solo stuff, I know that why there's no disintegrations. I know that stuff, but again, that's not canon stuff, right? So I know he's respected, right? So let's take this opportunity in this miniseries or whatever it's going to be to go forward into the storyline. Like, is he going to take over the guild, the syndicate, the Hutt cartel, and I want to get some backstory behind Fett as a character a little bit more deeper.
Yeah.
And maybe, like what Scott's saying, maybe that change of attitude, that character development, as maybe he was a true villain at one point.
Yeah.
we know he had a son, that Jabba had that
Stinky.
Son, Stinky. Did he have a brother or sister that was involved in a crime syndicate that would try and take it back from Boba?
Good point to bring up, because in the Clone Wars movie, Stinky Jabba's son was in it, and he was because of Ahsoka. You would think that he wouldn't have his father's tendencies, right? But he was given back to the Hutts. So where's Stinky? Where's Jabba's son? That would be interesting if he was in there somehow.
It would just be hard to take him serious.
I know.
Well, that wasn't his name though. That was just the nickname that Ahsoka gave him. I don't remember if they gave him an actual name, but Scott Bravo did pop in. Hey, what's up, Bravo? He said he hopes we see Dengar saving Boba Fett come to fruition. I just think having Dengar show up would be amazing.
Everybody's talking about Dengar,
Also, to bounce back off of what the Fallen Fett, what Ernie was saying, and what Chris was saying the other day about the book of Boba Fett, is that what we're watching right now, The Mandalorian, each episode is not episode 1, episode 2. It's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3.
Right.
And it's like chapter 16 closed that book on The Mandalorian. So now we're getting the book of Boba Fett.
Awesome, right?
Chapter 1, chapter 2. Yeah. And what a mind-blowing idea.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about it. I didn't put that together until we got the Book of Boba Fett title.
Yeah, right.
That's so cool.
And I think Jon Favreau confirmed that today in an interview. Yeah, he confirmed that the book is a chapter of the Mandalorian series.
So great.
Right, and then that's where the whole saying of then season 3 comes back in.
Yeah.
With Mando. So like totally on that. So if we just move forward, I'm fine with that too, because then I am liking where your guys are saying as far as if he took over the guild.
Right.
Because then we could see so many stuff
that
would be so amazing, or what's going on with it, or what is he going to do? I mean,
what a cool concept the guild was anyway. So let's not drop that.
Right. I mean, I know we'll get into the episode. Yeah. But isn't it funny how he was told, well, not all Mandalorians are bounty hunters.
That's right.
So there's like the instilling, what if he took that personally?
Yeah.
And that had to go, I am a bounty hunter. I used to be the baddest.
Yeah.
And then that was the whole, I'll show you.
Yeah. Before the Clone Wars and all that stuff, and I used to tell that to people all the time, because they're like, what about this bounty hunter? He has a bow in this kind of armor. And I used to say it all the time, not all bounty hunters are Mandalorians, before we knew what Jango was, you know what I mean? That's why I was like, Jango is just using before we knew that this season confirmed things. I used to say that all the time to people, not all bounty hunters are Mandalorians.
I just love that we're actually seeing Boba Fett just kicking ass.
Yeah.
I mean, because before all we saw was him take a few shots, and we saw the unfortunate end that he got, and that's how we were basing our love of Boba Fett off of basically the way he looked in books that no longer count. So to actually see him pick up a gaffy stick in that one episode and beat the holy hell out of
that was my
stormtroopers,
favorite boat. Yeah,
and then put the armor on and just start kneecapping people and shooting rockets out of his knees.
I'm telling you, man.
And then to come back and have it fully painted.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And be even more badass.
Like, and get into a brawl with a full-on Mandalorian warrior and come to a draw. And I'm like, this is what I've wanted for so freaking long. Something to back up the badass theory that Boba Fett was. It's no longer a theory. He is a badass. Ernie, I take back everything I ever said about Boba Fett.
I appreciate it.
I am on the Boba Fett train.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
He is doing what I've always wanted to see him do.
No one can ever say that he is an overrated character, because I remember reading and hearing people say that he's an overrated character. He hardly did anything.
Trendy to say that, by the way.
That's out. No, there's no more.
But it was true.
Well,
I mean, he didn't do anything.
But the way we do things,
he didn't do anything.
Yeah, but the way we do things, Scott, we had him doing more things in our heads and our discussions and talks than he actually did on screen. So like
he did more in my action figures than he ever did.
We built just like every secondary character in Star Wars. We built them up to higher standards than they actually, like what George Lucas just wrote as a cool figure. He probably didn't even, it's just cool to do this. And it was the whole arc for Han Solo, and that's why he was created. Originally, he was supposed to be Anakin's brother in the holiday special. That was a little cool snippet too. But man, again, what a reveal. And Jon Favreau did say, look, it was in the slate, but they took it out. They gave it to him for this surprise because of what they wanted to do with the finale and where that conference call or that investors meeting or conference was. Favreau asked Kathleen Kennedy, "Can I hold this for, this Friday?
Just give me one."
And so that nobody knew. Nobody. They just said that some more stuff is coming.
So great.
Right. So let's get into the episode. But before that, like I said, the Samuel Jackson actually tweeted something that was really interesting. And usually I don't really. The Mace Windu theories, all that stuff, because it's his birthday today, I believe, or it was yesterday.
It's today. I'm sorry, that's huge.
Okay,
man.
So why would you post that if it wasn't huge, right, Ernie? He posted. Right. He said, I forgot what he posted, but
I already had it up.
Yeah,
I did. Okay, so because I sent it to you guys within a minute that it got posted because I couldn't believe it, because we had all the theories. Chris had a whole story set up that we were already loving.
He's using the Heir of the Empire as like the Mandalorian,
Correct. So then all of a sudden you get this news. It's Mando Monday. The bucket's out. You can order the Darksaber. Yada yada. Right. You're like all jazz,
which I did.
People are all right. People are all over. Finally, it's Monday. Putting the Luke pictures up.
Right.
Asking questions. Then all of a sudden, I hop back in from a job. And it says, Star Wars just posted, and I turn it on, and I'm like, what the heck? And it's straight, the party isn't over. It's just beginning.
Yeah.
Sending a very happy birthday to Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. As Mace Windu. Like, the picture was Mace Windu.
And the eyes are looking at you.
They never do that. Like, they never do that. So why would they do it?
Right. I'm sorry.
It's only the beginning. Come on.
Yeah. So what's supposed to come out of him?
Well, we have that. Like I said, Chris has it in his head that Heir of the Empire is coming into fruition with the Mandalorian series. So is
I don't know.
the clone Jedi that they made, and he's coming back? Who knows? But
I know we asked on Facebook, and we did have some comments and like that. Like, are you okay with it? And we get the nobody's dead until we dead. I know Thomby, a friend of mine, put on there. You got to be cut in half in order to die. Never mind.
Right.
Yeah. There's
Marco. We
didn't see anything.
Yeah. Can you enable screen sharing really quick?
Sure can. Let's
cool.
See.
Yeah. So we didn't get, any news of a body or anything like that. I mean, we haven't.
He's just missing a hand.
Yeah. There's a lot to it, and would be a little tore up from the electricity himself, and.
Okay, Scott.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so this is what we've seen right here. The party isn't over; it's just beginning. Sending a very happy birthday to Samuel L. Jackson.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, as much as I don't necessarily need that to happen, I'm, okay.
At this point, right, Scott? We said just give it to us all. Like, I'm done. I'm done being like, I don't need. Like I said, I've been the one that says like, do I need a Boba Fett series? But now that it's there, I'm like, yeah.
Right. And with everything that Chris is trying to do with lumping everything together into his Heir to the Empire, because that's his big theory. Chris thinks that Heir to the Empire is coming. And instead of doing a Jaruus Syaboth, why wouldn't we do a Mace Windu?
I like it just because I want more Jedi in the Mandalorian. So because it's fitting. It's fitting.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm just down with it because of exactly what we're about to go over and what we got.
Yeah. That's exactly why I want more Jedi in this.
Anything wrong? I mean, we have the list of what's to come. We're excited about that. You get this huge story that was put together that was very well hidden. Even Mark Hamill put that out there, and I'm okay with it. Like, I don't care what answer you have.
I
don't care who you say.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about Luke's entrance and the CGI and stuff like that, right? Like, I don't care about the CGI. Luke Skywalker is back and what an entrance he made, and holy crap. Let's get into this episode now.
Well, first off, I could see Mace Windu going, oh man, not another Skywalker.
Totally. I don't know. I know the chat had said, somebody had said, and I heard that rumor a lot too, that it was him who saved Grogu.
Right. And
from 66. And if you do feel that way, guys, are you okay with everything being tied in to a story that's being told right now?
Yeah.
Or do you want something separate?
Personally, are you asking us?
Yeah, no, I'm asking.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, Ernie, I think if I want, after season 1, I want more of a tie-in to our universe that we knew, because season 1 didn't, right? It was very close to the chest a little bit. We had the Mandalorian adventure and his overall mission, and Grogu is the one who tied in the Force and the Jedi and stuff like that. But we didn't get that right until this season. Now that we've got it, I'm like, no, it fits so perfectly in our timeline, and I think they wrote that because of what they've wanted to accomplish in every other show and movie moving forward. They're gonna really tie this in. Now, it's doing it smart, I believe, because again, when we get to the whole Luke coming in and the Grogu scene, it's doing it smart. This isn't happenstance. This isn't like Luke would happen to be there with the Mandalorian and this stuff. No, it's like the Seeing Stone means so much more now, right? The Ahsoka means so much more now. It's just a cool flow. That's what they're doing. I think standalone might be too separated. Even like season 1 has felt a little separated. It was still amazing, but this brings it all home for us. It really does.
Yeah.
I'm down with them tying it. I am down with them tying it together. One of my major complaints about the prequel trilogy was that everything was so interconnected to a point where it was ridiculously interconnected.
It was a little too much, right?
It was, and it runs there's the risk of it doing that too much, and so I'm on the fence. Would I like to see Mace Windu? Not really, but
only if it fits this story. Because again, Mando seeked out Ahsoka.
Yeah,
ran into Bo-Katan. Well, no, he seeked out a Mandalorian, ran into Bo-Katan. That was the only happenstance, right? That happened to be her. She's the one who set him on the course for all these other tie-ins that we know of. So it wasn't like I'm in a bar and I bump into somebody. Oh, it's Luke Skywalker. Can you help? You know what I mean? It's not. This is all part of it. Seek out Ahsoka Tano. Seek out this, and that. Luke coming into play means so much because he felt he called. That's why this episode of our show is called The Answer. Luke answered the call of Grogu.
I worry that if Mace Windu shows up, it takes away from Luke. And Luke right now is supposed to be the Jedi. I mean, all the other Jedi stepped away from the Jedi path. Luke's entire story was getting to the Jedi path and taking that Jedi path and becoming the last Jedi, essentially, to start a new order. If Mace Windu shows up, that throws that all out of whack.
Unless he's bad.
Mace Windu could show up as a broken Jedi, like a broken man.
I think he'll be more of a Dooku character.
If that, well, yeah, okay,
maybe.
Yeah. Dooku is a little too. I don't know.
I mean, the Dooku character, meaning like left the order, start his own thing.
Though. Right, yeah. And then, two, I still to this day always have a question.
Yeah.
When he had Obi-Wan, was he telling the truth or not?
Yeah, yeah.
About Qui-Gon. Qui-Gon knew what was going on.
Oh, he told the truth.
It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
You know, or he would be here too. Like, I always wonder that.
Right,
like,
right.
Was he lying to him or was he for reals?
Yeah. If Mace Windu does come back, I do want to see him as a bad guy. I do.
Because Mace could be like, I told all you mother.
Yeah, exactly.
I told you. He did. He was the one who said it all the time from the beginning.
Yeah.
So Adam Sklimowski in the chat says, I think they need to be careful about creating problems. Like, for instance, Sabine handing away the Darksaber. So why can't Mando give it to Bo? They need to explain that. But Scott Bravo kicked in and said, Moff Gideon said it. The saber doesn't hold the power the story does.
The story does, yeah.
Correct.
He thinks that Sabine's family history with Bo-Katan's clan is stronger than her. Is stronger by handing over that saber to her from a child of the Watch. So,
yeah, I had answered that earlier. I got asked that on the Quickie Mini earlier today, and I had said the same answer that Bravo's given. That is to me. I mean, as we get into it, we break it down and we get to that part. I'll explain further on my thought of why it went down like that.
Okay. I do.
But we're putting the cart before the horse here. We haven't even talked about.
I know.
That's what I'm saying. So
I want to get it.
Start.
Yeah, exactly. Because open talk is great. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to hit beats of this, right? I want to hit beats is some very important parts of it, and to get into like again, we got so much to talk about. It's so exciting. Because everybody. You got to
start with the opening because that was amazing.
Exactly. So they have the plan. They're going to go get They have to infiltrate Moff Gideon's ship, and we've talked about how that would happen, right? So, Boba Fett, Fennec, and the Mando find the Lambda ship where they have Dr. Pershing in. They find him, they track him, and they basically forced to board there. And now they have Dr. Pershing, and to pretty much they have this plan of taking that ship in there and going to Moff Gideon's ship and infiltrating it. So. I love to see Dr. Pershing back in this episode because the way he just kind of freely gave up information, he's not a staunch Imperial. He's a cloner. The pilots even called him out on it, right? This is Dr. Pershing, and he's just I'm just a cloner guy. I'm just a scientist, And then the two Imperials, right? The one Imperial and Cara Dune had words. I mean, really starch words for each other, like. The one Imperial pilot was that staunch Republican. Sorry. Staunch Imperial. I told you, my head is mush. Staunch Imperial, meaning he's bad. And again, I've told you guys this before. I want to see bad Imperials. I don't want to humanize them too much.
Right.
Because then, we have to have
We were getting back into the Bill Burr thing, though.
Yes.
And I mean, we're getting into what me and you always used to talk about as far as, Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Imagine if we started with Negan.
Right.
And this is exactly it.
You're humanizing both parties, right?
Felt, yes. Yeah. And they'll do it again because they want us to help them and take over.
Yeah.
And he couldn't take it no more because to him, that sense is killing.
Right.
And he shot him. And then you get this.
Yeah.
He's calling out Cara.
For blowing up Alderaan because he knew that
Alderaan thing again. Dude, do you
calling them terrorists?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then saying it, we've said it on the show before. Well, we said it like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wasn't it of all the people who died on the Death Star?
Correct.
Like, and that's
contract
never
workers up. And the cooks.
Yeah.
Hey, Hot Topic episode 4 is all about that.
Yes. It is.
One of my favorite episodes.
Yeah. My favorite episode.
And that again, I wanted to see more Imperial villainous. More oppression. That's what you need to see on this. And we got it. And him calling out Cara Dune because she has the teardrop rebel sign for Alderaan.
Right.
Saying, I recognize that. I was on the Death Star that I was there that day when your planet got blown up pretty much. And she's like, which one? To throw it right back to him.
Yes.
Meaning, you blew up my planet, but we blew up 2 of your Death Star with all of your people on it too. And that was such a great rebel, versus Imperial thing going back and forth that,
I'm sitting there in awe, in shock.
Yeah.
That this is being called out to each other, because you do feel one-sided, because you could see it in him. He was trying to call Alderaan, and then she says that.
Yeah.
You could see it in him when he was like, well, we lost millions to you terrorists as well too. It was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's huge.
Such great banter. It was so good to kick off this episode like that, right? So they got,
to me, it's an answer of why they're still around.
Yeah.
Because of what they believe in.
Yeah. And then Cara Dune
as a whole, it's not just a job.
Yeah. It's exactly. It's an ideology that again, staunch imperialism. That's what we just see. And then Cara Dune had enough and point blank shoots him in the face.
It was crazy. Yeah, you need to stop talking.
Yeah,
took out Pershing's ear.
Yeah. I mean,
I could hear Joe from my house the whole time. God, I wish you shoot me in the face.
Shoot me in the face all night long.
Yeah. I heard it all the way over here.
So they got Dr. Pershing. They have a Lambda class space shuttle, and they said that they need more help. Right? They need backup on this. So I don't even know what planet they go to, but they go into Boba Fett and Din Djarin go into this cantina where Bo-Katan and I don't know what's her name in the show. Does she have a name in Mandalorian? The wrestling chick?
Yeah, it was
Banks Katan. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sasha
I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, so
yeah, it is, because she said it too. And this one she actually had called her by her name.
Yeah.
And then even before you get to that, it was amazing to see the ship there live for the first time.
Oh, I know. So cool.
Right?
Hey, hold on. Before we go on, let me ask you guys this, because I'm getting mixed answers on this.
Okay.
When you know how the music started building up after she shot that trooper in the face,
or
the pilot in the face, you hear the music building up, and then they show the title,
right,
and it gets more intense.
Yeah.
Did anybody here cheer? They're like, yeah. I mean, me and my daughter literally jumped up and cheered when we saw the title.
The title. I didn't.
Mixed with the music.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Yeah, me too.
Because I really thought that we were getting a demise episode.
Right.
Yeah.
We talking ourselves into that. Yeah, sorry.
Her Mandalorian name is Casca Reeves.
Casca. Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Joe,
Sasha,
when I seen it, Casca. I was I was taken back. Yeah, because we get this, and like you're saying, it's a huge buildup. He just got shot. Their banter that they had.
Yeah.
Oh my God! And then you see rescue, and I was like, oh, rescue. Oh,
already?
I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Right, I was waiting for something else.
I was too.
The end or torn apart or just anything. Like we had said.
Right.
This is going to be our empire.
Yeah, we were expecting doom and gloom.
Yes, exactly. So rescue just shocked me.
It did. I wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't excited about the title. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, we're going there. All right, let's go. Okay.
Mando Mike, I'll take her too, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Are they fighting over which one to take?
Yeah, we could put her in a bucket. That's fine.
Yeah. So good point, Joey, because a lot of people were very excited about that title, and I don't think anybody was disappointed. It was just kind of like, yeah.
So many jokes about helmets I could come up with.
Yeah. PG-13.
It is.
But look, the cinematography in this entire scene. I know. It was so badass. I mean, you have Din and Boba Fett walking in and stopping in the cantina entryway, or they come into the foyer, whatever.
Together.
And it's so bad. I mean, it was so cool.
I'm just dude, I'm like a little girl.
Oh, yeah.
On my bed, legs crossed, and I'm just watching Rocky. Yes,
seriously.
The same thing. They're together, they move together.
Yeah.
They nod together. They're looking around.
All I kept saying,
them too, and everybody stopped. I'm all, oh my God.
All I kept saying was that's so badass. That is just so badass. I mean, just everything they do. And then, panning the crowd, you see Bo-Katan and Casca, whatever.
Yeah.
Sitting there doing her thing. So, of course, he's trying to.
And not giving a crap either.
Yeah.
Everybody else was giving a look, and it was.
Okay.
So what did you order again?
Yeah. So Mando goes up to Bo and says, "I need your help. I have the cord, or they took the child. I know where Moff Gideon is, and I have the coordinates, kind of deal. And she's, but when Boba Fett spoke, Bo just kind of went like immediate recognized his voice and called him out right on the floor. You're not a Mandalorian, and Boba Fett's like, never said I was, And then he was like, I'm just pretty much taking my place as my father would, and she's like, don't you mean your donor?
Again,
wrong.
She
Back
started
and forth.
talking crap about his dad.
She knows exactly who he is. His voice. She even said, "I've heard your voice thousands of times," recalling the clones. She knows.
Awesome.
Yeah, she knows who he is because of don't you mean your? Well, maybe she didn't know his Boba. They're all his father, really. But
I
anyway,
think she does know a Boba because the line before that came of
right. You're not a Mandalorian.
Not all Mandalorians are bounty hunters.
Yes.
And then we've always supposedly what we've known is that he's so very well known.
Yeah.
And
again, the most
galaxy,
notorious, feared
correct.
bounty hunter in the galaxy. You know what I mean? That's his.
So
tagline.
to me, her saying that came into play.
Yeah.
Because of that, and then she had to go off on his dad just to knock it in.
Yeah. Then the digs in this episode, right, between the
great.
Imperials and Rebels, and now the Mandalorian.
Because then he's talking to Din.
Yeah,
dude, we don't.
He's like, we don't need these people. We got
don't need these bleeps. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's get out.
And then Kasha and Fett got into it, right? They had the little bar brawl while Bo-Katan and Mando are just staring there like, okay, how far is this going to go? Until they busted out the flamethrowers, right?
Yes.
They busted out the flamethrowers, like, enough.
Yeah. Bro, that mini move with the DDT flip around with the jetpacks.
Awesome, right?
I'm going to go on a limb and Boba won by 1 point. It wasn't a draw. Boba won by 1 point.
Yeah.
He did. Put her through a table, buckets falling on the ground. Oh, man.
That was great.
I think he went light on her.
Yeah, he did.
Exactly. And then Mom had to come in. You guys stop?
I just, because of the Mandalorians Mandalorians are clans, they're warriors. They have these creeds of like, you insult me, let's take this outside, like pure Western, right? Let's have a gunfight outside. Let's do this to the death or whatever it is, to yield. It's all about pride. It's all about their, the stature in the Mandalorian stuff. So it just proves it even more that these guys are just so cool. Like, as a third faction to deal with, it's just so cool.
Adam says she also said, I didn't know psychos talked. I don't know if I got that line.
That's what prompted Fett and her to go at it.
Oh, okay.
No, sidekicks.
Sidekicks.
Oh, they say
sidekicks.
I thought they said psychos.
I heard sidekicks were allowed to talk.
Right, and when I heard that too, I'm like, oh, dang. These two, like your dad, and then you're calling him number 2. when they're walking in, and he said the same back to her. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll go back, but I really thought it was sidekicks.
I think
when
so.
When you said that, I was like, oh.
Sidekicks means more.
Right,
it makes more sense.
Because I was like, dude, these two.
Wow.
But then you know what? I got to give it to Bo, because she said if we had any type of this testicular fortitude, fighting for us,
right?
We would. Did you like that, Joe? That was straight.
That was funny.
That we wouldn't be here. We should be fighting together.
Save it for the
like
imps.
This.
Yeah, right. Save it for the imps, she said.
Which was very true to what you're saying as far as all these factions and houses, and everybody does know each other. I mean, it's like gang stuff, basically.
It is. 100%. That's what the Mandalorian clans are about.
Yeah. And so again, just real quick, another thing that popped in my head was the whole end credit scene. Like, does he feel that he needs to do this?
Sure. He's got to be his own person again.
Crap about me, and,
he's got to reassert himself in this galaxy that's pretty much forgotten him.
Yeah, correct.
That's kind of what I'm looking at too.
Yeah.
And what is he going to do that?
Yeah.
It was great. Okay, but then so we're done with this scene. Everything that was there.
Yeah.
Where was Homeboy at? Her third guy?
Yeah,
whatever his name is, Scott. I don't know.
He was off flying their little light cruiser that they obtained.
Maybe
he's picking up more Mandos.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, so when they left, I was expecting Bo to call in more Mandalorians to her aid if they're going to go infiltrate him off Gideon's light star cruiser. I'm like, but no,
we finally have them.
It was just them two, and at first
I was Axe Wolves.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's what?
That sounds like a deodorant.
Looks like Axe Wolves.
Really?
Yeah, that's what it says.
I'm definitely getting that body spray for Christmas.
Yeah. So Yeah. So now that little spat, and they gathered Bo-Katan and Kasha, and he's got Boba, he's got Fennec. So the team is assembled, right, to go get Grogu. Because the main thing about Bo-Katan was like, they took my kid, but I know where Moff Gideon is, because I know you're looking for him, and that's what made Bo like, all right, let's do this. But she made it a point on the way to, like, they have the Lambda shuttle take off and Slave One behind him, and Boba Fett's the only one in Slave One, and they're trying to come up with a plan in the shuttle with Dr. Pershing, right? He's like, Pershing's like, here's where you'll find Grogu. Here's where you'll find these dark troopers that he has on there. They don't have many stormtroopers, but they got these dark troopers. So that you got to be careful. And they're third generation dark troopers.
Right.
They took the problem out, which was humans. So the whole war game scenario, right? So now we got full on AI dark troopers, third gen, right? So
they're solar powered and they got to charge up more than an iPhone.
Takes a couple minutes for them to fully charge.
Yeah.
And they have to have awesome music to fully charge. But
oh my God, I love it. We were straight getting hit with techno type music. Beats.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So
that was just pumping. It had me going. I was like, yes. And it seems so far out to say that you had that number one in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And it worked with the scene and what they did.
Yeah.
I'm
all in.
As they cut the scene,
in.
It stops and you're pumped, and then they show them again and it starts right back up, and you just, where's my glow sticks?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so ready to
exactly.
be right there in that charging station with them.
So they're coming up with a plan, right? They have Gideon's ship, all the schematics and everything, and he's saying this is what you do. So basically, what they said is, Cara, Fennec, Kasha, and Bo are going to go to the bridge and pretty much go after Gideon. And Bo-Katan makes it a point to say, I'm the one to confront Gideon. Yes. I'm the one he's mine. And everybody's like, yeah, whatever, go ahead, do your thing, So, and then they said Mando's going to come in behind him and go after and rescue Grogu. I don't know if his mission was also to disable the Dark Troopers too, but so basically, we got the plan, which is awesome because again, we get the tidbits of the third generation Dark Troopers. Now we know history on where they're going with that. Perfecting the AI in Star Wars, right? We get Bo-Katan saying Gideon's got to be mine, which will come into play later. Why she's got to be the one to confront him.
And Cara says, "I need him alive."
Yeah, and Cara is like, he's IS, right? So it's like we are gonna pay for him, and that's fine. No one disputed that,
Right.
Not even Bo. She just has to confront him, I guess. So when we get to the out of hyperspace, and like Boba Fett is on Slave One, chasing down the ship that they're in as a muse or an act. It's an act for them to board Gideon's ship, but then Gideon says, launch the TIE fighters, right? And the way they were launched out of this tube of
Battlestar Galactica.
Ship, well, I was thinking the first thing on my mind was like, okay, Disneyland, pay attention because I want a ride that has that you're in a simulator launching out of a starship and you're in a TIE fighter, because it was so freaking cool how they were launching the TIE fighters out to the tube.
Again, why was that so cool? And I'm all, it's the first time we've ever seen it. Exactly. We don't know. Like, okay, so we saw in, what was that, 8, where they were hanging inside?
Yeah, and they just launched
and
they just,
or whatever.
Yeah, and a hanger, right?
And then this was just,
it was so cool.
Oh my God! And then even at that, he told him to stop and wait.
Yeah.
And you see him inside, like hit the brakes and stuff, and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. As many times that we've seen them fly out of things, now we know.
It's because exactly. It's like it's an accelerator, so they're quick right out the bat instead of that build up speed, I guess.
It's almost like a slingshot that you see on a battleship that slingshots the F-18s out.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. So that was their entry point, right? The tube. So they're crash landing in the tube. So they can't launch any more TIE fighters, and then B, that's their way in, right? So.
Did you already mention how Dr. Pershing just doesn't give a damn?
Yeah, I did say he's for him. Okay. He's not an Imperial. Yeah. Like, no. You want information? All right, what do you need to know?
There you go.
Yeah, you got a gun pointed at me, I'm going to tell you. Yeah. He did that in the season 1.
I don't even think he would need a gun pointed at him. He'd just need a dirty look, and he'd just hand him all the information.
Yeah, I said that he was for him. So he's all about his self-preservation. He's a scientist. Yeah. He's in the fight for the science.
I think it's more of the the science of actually doing
just like
something correct.
Not Krennic. Galen Erso was in Rogue One at first before he developed a conscience. He was developing weapons for the Empire first.
Right.
Wasn't in it for their ideology like Krennic was. So
I digress, please.
Yeah, no, but yes, we did mention Pershing on that.
And then he disappeared.
Yeah, exactly. So
he's hanging back in the shuttle.
maybe he's with no. Yeah, maybe he's with Boba or something.
No, he was in the shuttle, I think.
So
chilling maybe
after their spat in the bar, Bo-Katan and everything, and so every time Boba Fett kept calling Bo-Katan princess, it was awesome too. But here's my thing, right? Like, we just lost Jeremy Bullock in real life, and I was like, okay, please have nothing happen to Boba Fett in The Mandalorian because that's just too much. I know it's already written, I know it's already filmed and everything, and when Boba Fett destroyed the TIE fighters and light speed away, I was just like, okay, good. Boba's safe. He's safe. Okay,
I love the fact that he's chasing the Lambda shuttle and he's just shooting and missing every time. And he's like, okay, time's up. He flips the switch and he just blows up both TIE fighters without thinking.
Yeah.
And floors it, takes off.
And you see it spin.
Oh, so glorious.
Cool. Isn't it amazing for a ship of Slave One to be a character as well too?
Yes.
Yeah.
All the characters in Star Wars are the ships are characters, Millennium Falcon and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Red 5. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Awesome. So this is the plan, and then of course you got the four girls up front blasting their way through, killing everybody in sight and making their way to the bridge, and then Mando comes strolling behind them, making his way to Grogu. So we're gonna take one section at a time. We'll take Cara, Fennec, Casca, and Bo-Katan. So they make their way to the bridge where Moff Gideon isn't there, right? But they blast everybody in sight. Stormtroopers, officers.
Even the female officer who we thought might have some kind of role in there somewhere.
Yeah, was that her? I thought it was a different person. She was on the ship.
Yeah.
But I didn't see her get killed. I was a different girl. It was the one that was on the radio comm.
Was it?
Yeah. I didn't see that one girl actress that you're talking about, Scott. I thought it was the other one.
As many times as I've seen it, I always thought that was who was killed.
It could be. I mean, I've only seen it 3 times, so
I don't know.
Me, so it could be because again, even Gideon made mention like everybody's dead that you killed everybody and I'm not dead. But yeah, so their fight. Okay, the only thing that was kind of bugged me, and Chris brought this up too, was Fennec and Cara Dune just walking with this gun split straight out, just walking, not even trying to dodge anything. Are they that badass? They just come in and everybody they just kill them like this, and not even except Fennec dodging that laser blast was pretty cool.
That was dope.
Yeah,
but
dude,
like
she dodged it.
Yeah, but here's the 2 Mandos, right, taking off, jetpacking, landing down, and having their back. But what a great. What would you call 4 people? Not a foursome. Don't say that. There's a trio.
Squad goals.
Okay. Yeah, because not a trio, not a duo. What's a 4? But anyway,
quattro.
Yeah, what a great quattro. You know what I mean? That was
a team.
There we go.
Yeah, no, it was
Able.
What's that word in the English language that means people banding together to form? Oh, a team. There we go.
Or group, but I mean, there was deliberately.
Good one, Ernie.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I
like that team.
Cara Dune with her gun, she's getting all frustrated with her gun because it's jamming, right? And it was just like hitting it on the ground, and she's such a muscle. Like again, she's the muscle of the group. You have the sniper, the muscle, the 2 sharpshooters. It's just so good. That team is awesome.
Quartet. Quartet.
Minus Fennec. Yeah. Well.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, we were getting little precursors to the Bad Batch, right?
To the Rangers, maybe.
I was thinking Bad Batch because, like you said,
yeah, you got every role.
The muscle, the sniper, everything.
Yeah, the melee, the everything. Yeah, it was so cool. So they make it in the story. They make it to the bridge, but Moff Gideon's not there, and Bo-Katan was like, "Where is he? I need pretty much almost panicking at this point."
And besides Dang Farrick being a cuss word, we got another one.
Yes, when
what she say, son of a
mud son of a mud mud scuffer. There we go.
Was it?
Son of a mud scuffer.
Yeah. Son of a mud scuffer.
I love it.
Dude, this is dope. Like, not even is this on Disney Plus, but we're getting Star Wars cuss words.
Yeah,
that us as nerds know is a cuss word. Dang Farrick.
Oh yeah. Remember, we always like Ichuta.
Oh yeah.
Banta Pudu. You know?
Yeah, and now
it's funny we can't come up with English words while talking, but Star Wars.
I don't know what you would call a four group, not that group or a team.
A quartet.
Quartet.
Yeah, Mando Mike pointed out.
Thank you, Mando Mike. So the quartet of anyway, I'll write that down for notes next time. No, I won't. But again, I'm trying to get to this. So if anything I miss, you guys hit me up with things like important points. Yeah.
My buddy Kevin pointed out that he was like his wife pointed out to him that it was the all girl team and it was girl power, and she's like, okay. Even his wife said it was too much, and I'm like, I'm watching it and I'm going, I didn't even realize it.
No,
I'm sitting there watching just badass action, and that thought didn't even cross my mind.
Right.
Oh, same here. I didn't until
Seriously.
It was brought to my attention too.
Yeah.
I know Nick
people are
the
looking
Greek had
for it
said
now.
the Disney woman power.
Yeah.
Like I get that, but I didn't see it though.
Because they didn't call to it. You know what I mean? They didn't call. Come on, ladies, let's do this.
If you're watching for that stuff, then that's what you're going to see.
That's true.
Yeah, and I know we get it sometimes in other stuff in the Marvel and like that, but they kind of call it out. And they didn't in this one. It was just we did what we had to do, and that's what I saw. Like Scott said, I just seen an action.
Mm-hmm. It's because it happened organically. It happened in the whole crossing of the paths. And the team the game plan just happened to be you four go here, I'm going to go here, Boba Fett's going to do this thing. And it just, again, it just kind of like morphed into that plan that it wasn't a call. Like, I'm taking the girls and going, we're going to do this. And it didn't call to it like a lot of movies do. And I think that's why we kind of missed that thing. And like Joey said, if you're looking for that stuff, then you're gonna complain about it and you're going to spread. It's like, again, guys, get into Star Wars. Stop getting into like social commentary about Star Wars.
Yeah, Nick came back and said it was much better than the Endgame scene. Yep.
Yes.
I totally
because that was a deliberate call
cool
out.
Scene.
Yeah.
And they had it in the long walk and everything. You knew what was setting up, and this one you didn't, and that's why.
It worked.
Too. It was better than that.
It worked
scene.
between their banter.
Second nature.
Yeah, it worked with their banter. What they did, their power. Like I say, Cara Dune to me kind of stole the show there a little bit because of like the frustrating on the and she's just mowing troopers down
and always not wanting help.
Yeah.
When they were telling her so much that when Fennec shot that one and she's like, oh no you don't, she had to go after her with the gun still. It was beating like
they had the whole
your count isn't going to be bigger than mine.
Yeah Had the whole
it really seemed like that
Legolas in
Gimli
almost like a competition of who can kill more troopers,
which is cool. It was really cool. I like that.
Dude, Fennec's style is awesome, and why so much more. I love that she's teamed with Boba right now.
Yes.
If you notice, she had a whole different fighting style.
She had a whole different fighting. She had a whole different fighting style, and she does a lot of her own stunts, which is amazing to me for a 57-year-old woman.
Yeah,
that's I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and she was a mainstay in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for the entire show.
Yeah, and
she constantly beat the crap out of people.
Yeah,
it was amazing to watch, and just seeing her now translate her fighting style into Star Wars with the.
Yeah, and it didn't even make me think of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. either.
Not at all.
Right.
But it's funny. It's funny because they call in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they call her the Cavalry. And
right.
That's how I felt. I'm like, oh, the Cavalry's here. This is just,
and now she's with Boba.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Yeah, and to be that old and now, with Boba, like, and I really don't see her being under Boba either. I'm really taking
almost have like a mutual respect, but she does let Boba have the throne, and she does let Boba almost lead the thing. But there's like a mutual respect there. Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, because at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you're alive because of him.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And I think that's what it is, right?
Life debt.
Correct.
Life debt.
Yeah. Out of more than anything.
Yeah.
So Chewie and Han.
I love that
I'll
action.
take them.
Yeah, that action sequence of them mowing through and getting to the bridge was amazing. I loved it. It was so good. At the same time, Moff Gideon said, tells before I kind of jumped in, he says activate the Dark Troopers,
right? And
they are activating, and we're the way the editing in this, right? We go from the quartet to the beginnings of the Dark Troopers powering up and the awesome music that's behind it, and then Mandalorian sneaking his way to the holding cells. And then cutting it back and forth, and the buildup of those Dark Troopers with the light, their eyes glow, and it comes back, and then the pipes on them come off, and then they all in unison come together and like come towards the camera. that build up was like I was anticipating. I was like, oh my god, like what are these guys gonna do? That was really cool editing in that aspect. All like 3 scenes going on at once.
Not only that, the sound, the mechanical sounds whenever they moved, every time they moved, like it could be like a little shoulder move, or you heard the hydraulics and everything. And man.
So I just feel like I was cheated from my Starbuck versus the Cylons rematch.
Yes, and so the Dark Troopers are in a cargo bay. By the way, they're in they're powered, but with a big,
which makes sense,
door leading out
for
to
deployment.
The outside. Exactly.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, well, okay, but yeah, it comes to play later. So the Mandalorian sneaking through and comes across the Dark Troopers trying to march out the door, and the Mando's like, oh no, and closes the door on him, but one escapes the door, right? Pries it open and comes out, and he just starts beating a living
brutal beatdown
as the other Dark Troopers are trying to smash through. So like what one is doing to him, imagine a whole platoon of them.
Right, to show the power of the significance of why he's using.
And the Beskar saving his life again. The Dark Troopers pounding his helmet in, boom, to the point where the wall behind him is cracking, like denting.
I'm expecting that helmet to cave in after every hit. I'm like, oh man, that helmet's going to cave in.
I think if it was his old armor, it definitely would have. Yeah. Because didn't he
get
a
it
new
would
helmet too with the Beskar?
Well, the
Mudhorn took off.
Well, the Mudhorn did, but also the Blurgs.
Yeah, that's right.
Ruined his gauntlet and everything. I mean, and his chest plate, and the Beskar, man. But also mentioned Mando had his Beskar spear too, his pike or whatever it was. And I'm sitting there thinking the whole time, get up, use that, because that's the only way you could, because blaster fire is not working, flames are not working. He tried everything on this thing, but again, he got his ass kicked. Until he brought out the spear and just, kind of like just stabbed the Dark Trooper and destroyed him.
You always got to give it to Din. He never gives up.
He never gives up, ever.
He really doesn't. I mean,
he stays till the fight's won.
Right. He kept going and everything, and I was totally thinking of you, Moocher, that whole thing, because that was a horror movie callback.
Yeah.
I mean, the hands in the door, the separating, you get one out, he keeps coming for him.
Especially when you set him on fire, I was thinking Terminator 2 the whole time. Like,
yeah. And the other ones were still trying to come through the door.
Yeah, they're pounding the doors, right? Boom, boom, boom. And it's
and it's funny because there's flames shooting up through its neck, and it just kind of turns and looks at him and just starts beating the crap out of him again.
So good.
It's just great.
Until Mando figures out how to take him out, and he takes him out, and then he goes to the door and opens the cargo bay, and all the troopers flush out. So at first I was like, well, that was a waste, but I understood at first, and I was like, well, that's stupid to put him in a cargo bay, but again, it's for deployment and stuff. But I go, well, they lasted long in the series. So Din makes his way to the holding cell, opens up the holding cell, and there's our hero, Grogu, in cuffs, but with Moff Gideon standing over him with the dartsaber ignited.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, and their dialogue, the Mandalorian or Din and Gideon's dialogue was great here. He's basically telling him, "I have this. Do you know what this is?" Blah blah blah. And Mando's like, I don't care. I'm just here for this kid.
He doesn't care at all.
Now, what Gideon says after this, I'm going to ask you guys something. He says that I have everything I need from the child. I have his blood, and to bring order back to the galaxy. That's awesome, right there. To bring order back. I have his blood. Do you think he's lying? Do you think they have everything he need from him, or he was just like? Because Gideon tricks him at the end and he goes after him anyway. So just to lure him in.
He may have the blood, but if he's got the blood is in that cruiser and maybe not dispersed yet. That's why the end game from the Rise of Skywalker doesn't happen sooner, is because that blood never made its way.
Yeah, could be. I thought maybe, I'm headcanon this, maybe something, because Gideon knew enough to hide in the cell. He knew enough to not go to the bridge. He knew, all this stuff. Maybe they had an escape pod and they launched some people with the scientific stuff they had beforehand. Like he foresaw that. I don't know. Maybe that'll come to play. Maybe we'll see that. But you're right too. if
I think he was telling the truth.
okay, so yeah, so
I do, because we got to think, we've said this every episode, we don't know Star Wars time.
right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
So for him to make it to that, he went and got Bo, and before that, you had the whole Bill Burr episode, and so on and
well, it
and
wouldn't
so
take
forth.
long to get the blood and thing, but I was just if he was lying to Din just to lure him in, because again he attacked him right
I
after.
think he's totally able to do what they're thinking of doing.
Yeah, because like Din was like, you know what, you do what you got to do. I'm just here for the kid, and Gideon is like, all right, take the kid, take him, because I got what I want, and then he said, just leave my ship,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
which was, I felt that was, I mean, I just like that whole thing. I believed Gideon, I believed him right there, so I did for a second,
I've seen Breaking Bad.
yeah.
He's making mention of Bo-Katan too.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy because I want to know their beef with each other. How did he get it?
Yeah, exactly.
And what it is, because it seems really important to them.
Yeah.
I mean, she did the whole thing too of calling him out
right
on the ship.
Right.
Of nobody goes after him. He's mine. He says the whole thing. She's freaking out right there.
Right.
I'm not up there. I'm here with you. She has no idea. It's like a game to him.
It is a game to him.
How much history do they have?
I think there's a lot there that we will find out. Maybe not in the Mandalorian episode, but maybe in something else. Or maybe in Mandalorian season 3, and we'll talk about that too. But yeah, Gideon is very smart, and he's a manipulator, right? He knows what to say, and he gives just enough information, right? And almost like, okay, you're gonna come after me. Either I'm gonna kill you, or I'm gonna hopefully you show me mercy. You're gonna take the saber from me, but then now you have to face Bo-Katan, right? That was, to me, like that's what he's thinking ahead. He's already 5 steps ahead. He's a chess player.
Correct.
So
correct.
So yeah. So
that was that question of the Sabine thing.
Yeah.
He obviously knows. So that was his plan.
Right.
She can't take it from me, because just exactly what you said, and this is what the part that I said I was going to explain was, that was his plan, because Mando's going to win and Din's going to have it now.
Yeah.
Or he kills Din and he still has it.
Right.
So no matter what, he wins, because, and again, this is where I got into the history thing.
Yeah.
Bo-Katan doesn't have it.
Right.
And to him, that seemed like the most important thing.
Right. Let them fight
that's
over
true.
it if I can.
That's true. He doesn't care that Din has it. It's just that Bo doesn't.
Correct.
Correct. Right.
You're right. Yeah.
And I told you the rules.
Yeah.
And what it's about. And now that you know, you can't hand it over to her. So that whole scene and everything is just
master manipulator, right?
That's why.
Absolutely.
Right. Exactly.
You know what, too? I bet you if Moff Gideon wasn't there in that room watching everything fall, the pieces fall where they were.
Right.
I bet you she wouldn't have rejected the Darksaber with Din handing it over to her. I bet it was more of the show for him, because otherwise, who else is there? Fennec is there. She's
nobody who it matters to.
Nobody that matters,
correct,
except for Moff Gideon.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And see that again. What is the connection?
He knows the lore of that. Darksaber.
Yep.
Yeah. And even if he didn't live to tell it or anything, something's up.
Oh,
something is definitely up there.
It's definitely deeper than just that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we get into the Gideon Mandalorian fight. Din Djarin and Gideon's fight, because of course Gideon tricks him and he takes out the Darksaber, starts smacking the hell out of him. The Beskar is saving him, and he's Mandalorian. He's caught off guard, and
now you know those rumors were true.
Yeah.
Of where he said he broke all those sabers.
I don't know what you're talking. Nope.
Oh, he had an interview that leaked where Chris has mentioned it before, as far as the
saber duel.
We better see him fight. Yeah.
Right.
Because he says that was in his thing, was that he broke so many they were getting mad.
Yeah. He did say he's going to have saber action, that he was going to have saber action. I'm sorry, but
so that beating down.
It was great. Like he that fight, like I said, Din, he's got his block with a Beskar, but he takes out the pike, his Beskar pike. I call it a pike. I don't know what else, whatever, spear.
That works.
Okay, he takes out the Beskar pike and he's using it as he would, to defend himself. And as it's hitting, as that Darksaber is hitting it and holding, it's glowing, like the Beskar is glowing, right? Mm-hmm. And I know, and my thing is like, okay, if you hold it long enough, like like the sabers in Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan did in the episode 1, if you hold it long enough, will it start to melt the Beskar or damage it somehow? I'm thinking, yeah. I'm thinking,
so.
But it did cool down right away as soon as it.
It's probably going to be a long time.
It was heating up like pressure. That.
Yeah. But that was a cool. But I always think
you've got to think Beskar can be heated and molded. So I mean, it does have a melting point. Too. So if you hold it at a certain point for long enough, it's gonna break or it's gonna melt.
Heated and molded, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So orbital bombardment of the heat blast did not melt the Beskar like the armor would have done.
Mm-hmm.
So that is. I haven't thought about that. I didn't think about that. The creation of the Beskar armor, you've got to destroy it basically, or put it in liquid form.
You see the armor melt the bars.
Exactly.
So exactly. there is a heat level to it.
So there you go. You can be melted then. Is a saber hot enough?
Din does this trick though with the pike where he like kicks it out from under him
and
flips it over, and I'm like, oh my god, where did this guy learn how to fight?
He kicked it over his head to block the blow.
So good.
I'm telling you, that fight was again. I'm on the edge of my seat, and I'm already at the point at in this season and this series. If it ended right here, and he killed, I was like, cool ending. I would have ready to walk away. I'm like, it was awesome, amazing, the rescue, but all that stuff, right? I really would just be satisfied with this. But within that fight, again, Mandalorian gets the best of Moff Gideon, and he sacrifice, or he spares his life, and he takes the saber from him and marches up to the what is it? The control room, the where Bo-Katan is at, the bridge. Thank you, the bridge where Bo-Katan is at, and he's got the Darksaber ignited, and her face was like, what the hell? Like she knew, and Moff Gideon, who was smiling, like and this is where we get the lore of the Darksaber. How
it doesn't even say you spare me.
Yeah, like you. This is how you have Moff Gideon's like, you have to defeat him in combat, and he's like, here, just take it to Bo, and she's like just staring at him. He's like, I yield. I don't want to fight you. Here, just take it. And so we get the lore of.
You can see the look on his face, even behind the helmet. Like, seriously?
Yeah. He didn't want. He just wants to. He's got Grogu.
Yeah.
He's done. And so Moff Gideon starts to explain. It can't be just handed over. It has to be fought in combat. And
it's not the saber. It's the story behind the saber.
The saber holds nothing special. It's the story behind it. And you're right. Yeah. With that many witnesses, Bo-Katan can't just take it and move on. It has to. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna duel over or something. I was like, just punch me in the face, dude, and take it.
Exactly. Let me take off my. No, I can't take off my.
Yeah,
helmet.
right.
Just hit me. shoot me in the chest. I'll drop it.
Exactly. So, I think that whole scene is going to come to play in season 3. That's because when we ended this is how that was a leftover thing. But Mandalorian still had the Darksaber, and they never finished their talk. Right? They never finished that part of it.
No, and all we get from Bo is that she keeps saying, "I would love your help."
Yeah.
To try and retake Mandalore and everything.
Interesting too, right? So again, we'll get into theory crafting season 3.
Hard because he's grown so much.
Yeah.
But then yet where he came from, of being a child of the Watch, as she says.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All that comes into play as well too, of what's going to happen, and if you can't hand it over.
Yeah. And Nick is saying again, Sabine handed over, but we kind of talked about earlier was there's something there maybe between clan to clan, or maybe when it's run its course through one family to another, it can be handed over. Again, the story, if it's handed over honorably and with respect or ceremonially, that even might be part of the story.
So submitted to.
Correct.
Yeah.
She said your sister used to be ruler.
Right.
And now everybody's saying that who holds this. I can't. I'm not able to lead, but you are.
There's the story
under
behind
your sister's reign.
Right.
So if you put it together, that's kind of like the whole king and prince type thing.
Right.
The king gets taken out, and now it's the prince. Okay, well, here you have the queen.
Yeah.
And she's technically the princess, which is also funny.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That Boba Fett kept calling her that.
Right. Right.
And it's kind of actually you're in rule. So if she's going for the whole effect of it, as far as my sister passed away. So now that means I'm supposed to rule.
Right.
But then she was handed over the saber like she had everything.
Right. And also
so at some point she did. So how did she lose it?
Yeah.
What's the story between them?
That's what we need to find out. Yeah.
Correct. And that's the whole reasoning,
Right. But also
why?
it could be something where she couldn't take it from Din because he was a child of the Watch, and that could have been such a whole different aspect of if it ever fell into the hands of something else. It has to be won by combat unless quote unquote blah blah. That's all going to come into play. We have to have closure on a lot of these things. But it's just introducing it to us. So
that was my answer to it all.
Yeah.
And we're picking it apart like we picked apart why does he have to keep his helmet on?
Right.
It's just a matter of time before we get an answer. And
absolutely,
it seems like every time these questions come up and it stirs up a lot of controversy,
it's answered.
2 episodes later, we get some sort of an answer.
Yeah.
Well, here's the big one about this, because if you're technically thinking about it, he's the ruler of Mandalore right now.
Yes, he is.
Right.
He is Mandalore.
The rightful. Yeah.
Correct. And that's
he didn't give it up at the end either.
Correct.
Exactly.
Right? I mean,
his job is done. What else has he got to do? He's
correct.
Well, I could give this a shot.
Yeah. And then not only that, which we'll get into, you see somebody else come in wielding the same thing, like, oh, really? Is that what I could do?
And this guy's a walking weapon as it is, and then you give him an ultimate weapon like a lightsaber.
Yeah,
he can fight.
Oh,
he can fight like anybody else, like nobody else. So
yeah. So again,
there is a lot to it that we could get from it.
Season 3, baby. Yep.
Right.
So, what comes back into play right now as they're discussing the whole? You have to take it from me, whatever. Blips on the screen starts happening, and it's the Dark Troopers coming back
Cylons
because they are, right. And there's a lot of them, and they board and they start marching up to the bridge in awesome style. Like, I mean, in unison and
technical, because some are holding back.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So
some help
themselves.
Exactly. So
right,
they get
some are in the hangar, some are
correct.
Yeah, because if you're going to get through those ones, by chance.
I love the fact like I'm thinking like they're communicating, but we can't. And I love that like it's all just out there and like Wi-Fi-ing each other. So
What you eating, Ernie?
Reese's Pieces.
Nice. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I need dessert.
I try and keep it Star Wars too. So E.T. is canon.
There we go.
So that's E.T.'s favorite. That's my favorite.
Absolutely.
I just derailed the whole thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, we can get a sponsor. That's why.
Yeah.
I'll let him sponsor us.
Heck yeah. Well, E.T. is canon. So anyway.
That's what I'm saying. E.T.'s canon.
So
I do not eat non-Star Wars on the show.
So the Dark Troopers make their way to the bridge, and they're pounding on the door. Like they close the blast doors and all that stuff. So they're pounding on the doors and making their way there, and they're basically like Moff Gideon says, with all this impressive firepower behind me, everybody in this room is still gonna die except for me. He looks at Mando and the child. Right? That was like I was like, yeah, everybody's gonna die. They can't take these Dark Troopers out.
Right.
I'll be right back.
All right.
And and with that, it's the whole horror aspect again, because you just got Gideon and you thinking that it's all over.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's not, because now you've just brought this into play, which is more of what are we going to do?
Right.
Like, obviously they just beat the crap out of him.
So a perfect opportunity for a rescue, right? The title of the show, a perfect opportunity. So what do we see?
A lone X-Wing fighter.
And a X-Wing fighter comes in.
And it's called out. You get the beep.
Yeah.
So it's even better into play.
And
what is that?
Yeah, and I think that scene where Grogu turns to the monitor and watches it too. Like Grogu's reaction first was like,
yes,
somebody's here. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my first reaction was, oh, here's the New Republic coming to save the day. Like, oh, one X-Wing and then a squadron of X-Wings. And then they would, and that's my thing. And then all of a sudden Cara Dune goes, oh, one X-Wing. Great. We're saved. Like real sarcastic. And I went like, one X-Wing? What is
well,
this?
not only that, what got me too is like, and I know you couldn't do it, but we're kids. So it played in our head. What's your call sign?
Yeah.
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 He's calling to it, and you're just waiting to hear
Red 5. Yeah, exactly.
Red 5.
I still didn't believe it though. I didn't
as
either. The X-wing pulled up, I was like, no.
The music at this point too was slowly building up to that mystic reveal, and it just captured again the best piece of Star Wars that we've gotten since the original trilogy, I think, with the music, the beats, the X-wing coming into play, and we see on the cameras we see a robed figure mowing down dark troopers in the hangar and everything.
And at this point, I'm still going, no.
Yeah.
No, they really?
My first instinct was Barriss Offee, like you said.
Right.
And I was like,
here.
because it kind of looked like, again, with the robe and everything, looked more of that style, like her style. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, what was this? And all of a sudden, like, we saw the green lightsaber and the black hand. And
the green lightsaber, I still wasn't buying it because Barriss has a green lightsaber.
Well, that and the belt buckle, right? The silver belt. Yeah, exactly. Barriss has a green lightsaber. Yeah. So, but the silver belt buckle and the black hand,
black glove
was. I mean, you seen that clip of?
I finally screamed when I saw the saber.
Yeah.
In the hand.
Yeah.
I knew the hilts.
When you realized,
yes, I knew the hilts because I'm with you guys the whole time.
No,
exactly.
There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah, you're just adjusting yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
The revelation of Luke Skywalker coming to fruition in front of our eyes in this program and how they did it, and the entrance of it, and again, the Dark Troopers are pounding. They're making their way into the thing, and Luke Skywalker. We find out it is him, or it's it's still like very shadowy and invested. But I mean, we're all at this point. We're all on the floor in tears, yelling, clapping. Trying to text people it's insane. And then he makes his way to the hangar, takes the elevator up, and all the troopers in that hall that are on the bridge turn around, right, and watch the elevator go from like 1 to 2 to 3.
Okay, let me ask you guys this: Do you think there's some sort of force sensitive thing inside those dark troopers?
I was going to bring that up too, Joe.
They
Wi-Fi'd. They're Wi-Fi'd.
They stopped what they were doing.
Right.
And they all turned their attention to Luke.
Like if they felt the threat.
Well, think about it. If they're communicating to each other, then they know they're being mowed down in the hangar. They know the elevator's being activated. They all turn around and they wait.
You can see the elevator move. You can hear the elevator moving. They all turn around to face the elevator.
It came from when the X-Wing flew in.
Once the X-Wing flew in and landed, they all stopped. And
it's an enemy.
They show them turn.
You think about it, it's an enemy. Again, when we get to the lore of the Dark Troopers, I know second generation they would try Force users as Dark Troopers, so maybe a residual. But yeah, me personally, I just think that it was just a.
Did you say Wi-Fi, Scott?
Yeah, they're Wi-Fi at each other. No, they can communicate. So
Bluetooth.
Yeah,
Bluetooth. I am with Joe though. I kind of feel that way. I do want a little explanation for that.
Yeah,
I can get the Wi-Fi and everything, but it was the scene of them turning and stopping.
Right.
Everybody.
Well,
like the threat is here.
When so maybe we'll have to explore that some more. But what I want to get to is the Luke Skywalker hallway scene versus we got our Darth Vader hallway scene, but Luke Skywalker hallway scene mowing down these dark troopers was just the pinnacle.
Orgasmic.
Thank you. Absolutely the pinnacle of the season. The highlight of the season, what he was doing by grabbing them, pulling them, pushing them, force use, crushing them with force, stabbing. I mean, it was absolutely amazing. And this is
I'm telling my daughter what's going on. What's going on? Yeah.
Well, this is the right way to do it in Luke Skywalker's format, not in the sequels, in my opinion. This is not what I wanted to see in the sequels. This is what I want to see 5 years after Return of the Jedi. This is
Luke in his prime swinging a lightsaber like he has never done before in live action.
Correct.
And his fighting style was awesome because here we actually saw him using the Force correctly and blocking them and then still attacking them.
Like a knight.
Yeah, exactly. And then enough to the point of you didn't have to do nothing but just crush him.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that was so I'm screaming at that point.
Yeah. It was awesome.
I am. I was just screaming literally out loud. Oh my God! I don't even know what, but just the crush.
Yeah.
And you still don't see him yet.
No.
Nope.
He doesn't reveal, but we all know because you can see like
what's funny
his
though
chin and
through that whole scene where he's just mowing them down, the first thing that came to my head was Vader's scene on Rogue One.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
It
was a mirror image of both of them.
It was the entrance, the smoke behind him. It was just like, again, this is Luke's moment now. We had Vader's moment, now we have Luke's moment, and
yelling with tears down my face.
Yeah, dude, just an epic scene for them to do. And then I'm thinking, like, first I'm like, okay, we said Luke Skywalker should be the Jedi to show up anyway. Like, we've said this on the podcast. We mentioned the other Jedis out there, but this is the one that makes the most sense, right? He's actively seeking Force users. Grogu sent out a signal, and Luke answered. That makes the most sense to me, or into the story, in fact.
But never in a million years.
Just didn't think like it would happen in a Mandalorian series, or in this. And so when Mando, because of Grogu's reaction of him touching the screen, watching Luke Skywalker mow all these people down, Mando was like, I'm going to open the doors and let him in. Everybody's like, are you crazy? Like, we don't know who this guy is.
Bro, even before that, I loved Gideon's fear in his face.
Yeah. Oh, so great. Yeah.
Dude, that was by far just... He was having his moment.
Right.
He was laughing in Bo-Katan's face, of laughing at all of them. You just wait, and you saw the fear in his face as an actor.
He knew exactly who was coming. It wasn't what was coming. It was, I know who's coming.
Yeah.
It was amazing that
and he's unarmed too. So.
Well, then he tried, and he loses it, and he tries to blast.
Yeah, he picks his lock. He's picking his lock as the things are going on too.
Blast Grogu and everything. Then he tried to kill himself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then that didn't happen. And then the whole hallway scene happens.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we get Mando picks up Grogu and opens the door, right? And now we have this fog comes out, and the silhouette of him sitting there with the lightsaber ignited. And he steps forward, turns off his lightsaber, steps forward, and unveils Mark Hamill. I mean, it's Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi, basically, and speaks just like it came right out of 1983. I mean, seriously, I was like, they're doing it again to me. It's like Rogue One, right? Like they did it. Yeah. They're committed to it. I buy into it. I know a lot of people are a little bit funny about the CGI, but the thing is, Luke Skywalker is in it. Luke Skywalker came. He's in the Mando. That's more important than the look of the CGI.
Yeah. I grew up with an Atari 2600. Give me that all day.
Exactly, dude. So
that was great.
So basically, Mando asked him, "Are you a Jedi?" After that,
what do you think?
Luke's like, "Yes." Luke Skywalker's like, "Yes." Doesn't say his name, and we were getting into like a theory on why he wouldn't reveal his name. But again, he wasn't asked either. So I mean, like, he's not. You didn't ask me my name. So
in Legends, those old Legend stories, he would have walked in and said, "I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you." But now this new
Jedi and friend of Captain Solo.
I was there waiting for that. The Red 5 I was waiting for.
Yeah.
I was waiting for I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here for Grogu.
See, this is now they got it so right, because Luke Skywalker as the farm boy, as whatever, he was jittery. He didn't know what to do, so he was offering information that nobody asked and doing this stuff. Fast forward to, like I said, all the events. He just faced down his father. He survived the Emperor's attack. He did these things. Now he's that Jedi that walks into a room and just glances over and people know, and he only offers whatever information,
He's a living legend now.
Yes.
I mean, he is the legend of Luke Skywalker. And I mean, he's got that confidence in him too, the way he walked and the way he fought. And
so everybody's just staring at Luke Skywalker, and he turns to Grogu and offers his hand. And Grogu looks at Luke, and then he looks back at Mandalorian and stuff, and he said, Luke told Mando, he wants your permission. And I was like,
yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me?
So not only Luke is on that, then we get a reveal of another character.
Oh, well.
At this point.
Yeah, after. So R2D2 comes. R2D2 comes behind Luke, and I stood up, shouted out, "You mother effers! You mother effers!" Yeah, like you did it. You got me. You did it.
I was in tears already of joy and everything, and then you hear the roll sound, the beeps.
Yep.
I'm choked up.
Yeah. It was whenever the third leg went up and he started rocking back and forth like R2 does when he's excited.
Well, it was really cool because Grogu had
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He's got better toys.
Before R2, you know, Grogu and Mando had their moment, and it was really, really good. Like, he brought him up, and Grogu's touching the helmet, and so Mando basically going to give him to him. You belong with your own kind, he says. You belong with Luke, pretty much.
I'm wondering if Grogu and R2 recognized each other.
Yeah, dude, we'll get to that in a sec. So Mando reveals his, takes off his helmet, like it's all over for Child of the Watch, and a lot of people are making that point where that's the first time anybody's touched Mando's face since he was a foundling. Yeah. And what a moment Grogu and Mando had right there.
Yeah.
Didn't even think twice about it.
Yeah.
Took off his bucket in front of everybody.
I'll admit, that got me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, same here.
That got me.
I've got it. I know why Luke didn't say his name. What? If he would have said, I'm Luke Skywalker, Grogu would have looked up and said, a Skywalker? Oh, hell no. I am not going with this guy.
And he just starts speaking in a low voice.
If he would have, Bo-Katan would have in the back said, I hope you find your dad.
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah, so when they had their moment, then Grogu, he puts Grogu down, and Grogu's got his leg, he's got Mando's leg, wrapped around, It was such a heartfelt goodbye. It really and it felt like a real goodbye. It didn't feel like we're gonna see him next episode 1 next season. You know what I mean? It really felt like this was it. But yeah, when R2 came around the corner, that's when Grogu turned around and hey, walking towards him.
Play with that.
Almost like Joey said, almost like they knew each other. Now, R2 was on Coruscant during Order 66, right?
Oh yeah.
Because after that he went to
yes, he was.
So
because after that he went to Mustafar.
Right. So maybe Grogu stowed away in R2 the whole time. Maybe R2 rescued Grogu. No.
He was stored in R2 the whole time?
God, yeah. R2's chest opened up and come on, Grogu.
Yeah.
Dude, it seemed like it because it seemed like Grogu.
R2 was all over Coruscant. All over the place. So yeah.
R2 is the one who knows the whole freaking story.
Right. So yeah, I wouldn't put it past Grogu recognizing R2 because you're right. He did kind of go grab it and walk towards him, and then R2 did the whole 2-leg thing and rock back and forth and look down at him and everything. And I was just like, this is so beautiful. I don't even.
I could totally see R2 coming in how he did, behind Luke, screaming at Luke, dude, what the hell is taking so long? And then stopping and seeing Grogu?
You said 5 minutes in the car, Dad. You left me in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time he was left in a car, a bunch of, he and Obi-Wan fought. So
I wanted to see you crush him. You didn't even let me see it. God.
Yeah.
R2's all pissed.
So it was absolutely beautiful, right? Beautiful ending. And then of course Luke takes Grogu up and
gives a promise.
Yeah, I promise to protect I promise with my life I will protect. I will give my life for him.
And Din says, I will see you again, kid.
I will see you again. Yeah.
And then Luke says, may the Force be with you. That was awesome.
Yeah. And then they show the Force ghosts of Han and Ben, and it says, no, you won't.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then they go, Luke, Grogu, and R2 go to the elevator, right? And again, that camera shot of the Mando, and he's got tears in his eyes, and he's just like, my buddy's gone, his son, his whatever. I mean, it was so heartfelt. Like I said, it felt like a real goodbye. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And and then of course the elevator closes, and that was the episode.
You guys think it's gonna affect him in season 3?
Yeah.
Like
so
we're gonna come to him, and he's gonna be still not depressed, but you can still see that he's thinking about Grogu.
His goal was to deliver him to his own kind, and he accomplished it. But he developed such a bond that even Moff Gideon saw the bond.
Mm-hmm.
He developed that whole thing. Maybe he was hoping that Grogu wouldn't call to anybody. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, come with me and we'll go back to that water planet or that other planet, and I have my wife sitting there. You know what I mean? Like, the kids love you already. So, this is what I want to ask you. So, again, probably one of the best pieces of Star Wars you've seen in such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we know season 3 is guaranteed. We're getting it, right? After the Book of Fett and everything. What are you guys going to do if Grogu is not in season 3? But, we know basically how they left this off was Din having a Darksaber, Bo telling him, we have to fight over it, basically to rule Mandalore, right? So Din's purpose in life went out the door with Luke Skywalker right there. Over that course of time from the beginning of season 1 to now. His purpose
chapter 1 to chapter 16.
16 chapters, Din's purpose of life changed. It was all about the kid. It was all about that. It was about the mission, keeping him safe, Grogu keeping him safe. They fed off each other. So if a season 3 happens, I mean, okay, I'm going to ask you as fans and everything, with that, not that duo, and again, we could be totally wrong and they could be reunited really fast, or we could be following 2 separate stories in the next Mandalorian series. But what would you guys feel as fans if we just had the Mandalorian moving on without Grogu from this point on, like ever, all the time, and maybe a cameo at the season finale, premiere, series finale? You know what I mean? Like, because Din kept the ball from the Razor Crest, and I could just see it sitting there on his new Razor Crest. All of a sudden, it starts wiggling, and it goes back, and then all of a sudden Grogu catches it. God. Like, I'm back,
What if we're all totally wrong, and season 3 opens up with, wait, his ball, and he goes after him, and it's like episode 8, and it's continuing right after that point, and
he's trying to track him down to give him the ball back.
No, he runs like he goes down the elevator. They're climbing into the X-wing. And then he's like, his ball. And then Grogu's like, oh, I can't
Luke, you
go.
can't take him.
Right, yeah. No, we need each other.
And he pulls out the Darksaber.
Yeah.
Goes after Luke.
Yeah.
And that's the end of Din.
That's the end of Din, yeah.
So, no, I think that the story, it had a beginning, it had a middle, it had an end.
It did.
I think that
absolutely it did.
I believe that Grogu is best left to either whatever his Jedi tales are going to be, or if he does pop up again, like you said, maybe in the series finale.
Right.
I want to see the aftermath of this, because this whole experience has profoundly affected Din and his character development. He went from being a badass bounty hunter to being a father figure to being kind of like a father who's lost his son, you know? So how does that affect him? How does having the Darksaber in his possession now? There's a lot that they can play with here without having to go back to the crutch of Grogu.
Right.
So I'm very intrigued to see where the story goes without him.
Me too. And that's why I brought it, because I'm like, we always were told and we heard that season 2 was the major setup for 3 and 4, right? Like the next 2 seasons of the major story going on. But I'm like, well, wow, man. I mean, but the first 2 seasons of this, I know where they're going to go with Mandalore and stuff, and that could be exciting as it is. But I mean, I'm going to really miss the little dude. I'm going to miss.
I am too.
Again, we're speculating, right? We're like Ernie said, it could be Force Awakens, Last Jedi, right back the next day, kind of stuff.
Right. Or
so,
what if we get a time jump?
That's what I'm thinking, Ernie. That's exactly what I'm thinking.
Season 3, and it says chapter 30.
Well, I don't know if it'll say chapter 30, but it might say 5 years later, or something like that. Where
I don't think so, because I mean, he is still in that bridge with Bo-Katan.
Sure.
He's got the Darksaber. She wants that thing.
Well,
I don't think there's going to be a time jump.
We can open on Mandalore, and Din is he's the Mandalore. He is Din the Mandalore now. He could be that and maybe we'll get snippets of like, yeah, I thought it is best in your hands. This is your purpose now. It could be where we, in dialogue and stuff like that, find out what happened in that time and why Bo decided to have him lead instead of.
I honestly feel that we can't speculate.
Exactly.
I don't think so. I think these other shows are going to have to do with Mando. Mm-hmm. So like say we get Ahsoka in September,
right,
or something, and it totally changes aspect or turns something, right? So now we're just clamoring for season 3 because of what happened in Ahsoka.
Right.
I'm totally down with that if they keep doing that.
Right.
And that's what I was asking earlier. Would you guys be okay if everything tied in? Because I would.
Oh yeah, I mean it has to at this point. And
give us this. We were always based. Our movies are the Skywalkers, right? That's what we were told.
Yeah,
it was a Skywalker saga.
Correct.
So now, if we started Disney Plus with the Mandalorian,
right,
and we get stuff off of that story and outreach from the Book of Boba to Ahsoka to everything else that's supposed to be coming out, I'm down for it.
Of course.
Okay, we can't, and now we're just waiting for season 3 to happen.
Right.
That would be awesome.
Right. Exactly. And again, we can't speculate because there's so much that just like I said, I felt like that was a real goodbye to me. But the whole I'll see you again" thing was really comforting to me too.
Yes.
Like they're going to be reunited in some fashion. I don't think it'll be under distress. I think it'll be an actual reunion of sort, even if it's not to come back with me. They will see each other again. God,
30 years later, he ends up on the planet with the smoking ruin of the Jedi Temple, and there's Grogu's body, and he's just like, I should have come back sooner.
Yeah. Okay, Scott's gone. We dismiss him real fast.
Where'd I go?
No,
I was on there.
Again,
it's a point of Luke's message to say, I will protect this child with my life.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we all know what happens.
I'm sorry. Right. Exactly. Like Joe said, we all know what's going to happen. We do. I know it was said that some got away. But that's still, come on, that didn't go through your mind.
Of course it did. Because
are Ben and Grogu going to grow up buddies?
Well, because I look at it this way, right? Finn is how old in Force Awakens? 18?
Finn?
Yeah. Is he 18, 19? Well, how old is he?
Okay.
I think mid to late 20s, I would think.
Okay. Put that almost 13 years or 12 years after Return of the Jedi that Finn was born.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that he was taken. So the First Order is obviously active 10 years after Return of the Jedi, taking things.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Now you look at when did Kylo destroy the Jedi Temple? Subtract, go back and find in the timeline when Luke lost it. I think it's 5 years before Force Awakens. I think it is. So,
I think so.
Kylo Ren is 33 in 33, I think, right, in Force Awakens, or 30. Again, you have to pinpoint. Okay. Then when did Leia give Luke Kylo? Because she was training him at first, felt too much power or anger in him, send him off to Luke. All these things, and now again with the Mandalorian, right? If it continues to have like time jumps, we're gonna get closer to that event. Well,
we know Kylo is a Death Star baby, Death Star 2.
Yep.
Yeah, he was conceived on Endor. Yes.
Right.
The
correct.
So
right now, whatever, we don't know the specific timeline. We've been asking this.
Right.
So basically, wherever Mandalorian is right now is how old Ben is.
Yes.
So either 5 or 8.
Right. So
around there,
again, if we start continuing the story on, we're going to get into that thing, and again, we're going to find out where Grogu was when the Jedi Temple was destroyed, because that's Luke's purpose right now. Luke's purpose is rebuilding it. So,
dude, I already told Evil Diva I want a series, because I play all this crap out of my head, of Grogu with Ben. And do you know? This could be some of his demise. We know Grogu as what we would call a travieso, a little instigator, right, Joey? That do you get what I'm saying?
He's always into something.
He stole cookies. He doesn't listen. So imagine if you're in the temple and you've already been taught this, but now you're brought in with these little kids because you're considered a kid,
right? And
you blame everything on Ben. Like Ben's always getting in trouble because of Grogu. Dude, that would be hilarious. I would love that show.
Yeah.
Like all the time, Grogu's pointing at Ben. The Solo kid, man. He don't stop.
I know. As a comic book,
he's gonna have a temple. He's gonna have others. He's going to.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Luke is actively seeking Force users out to rebuild the temple, rebuild his Jedi Order.
What we were told from Ahsoka was that he was already trained.
Yes, he was trained for 20 years. He was trained.
He's received more training than Luke.
Yes,
by masters.
Yeah,
right, correct. So how does that come into play? I know, like I said, he's a child, and I will protect this child with everything. And then as Luke starts teaching him, what does that mean?
Right.
So that's what I'm saying is I think that has too many questions to where we may get that episode 8 of him going back and grabbing Grogu immediately.
Yeah.
And he never even went with Luke.
I gotcha.
Because there's too much to play. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha. I mean, I get. Okay, here's another thing too. The way this ended too is because the questions left that Din is on this other path as we know it. He's on the Mandalorian path, or the Mandalore path right now. Grogu's on the Skywalker Jedi Order path. Okay. It makes sense in the story to progress those two storylines going forward. I said to you guys, how would you feel if we didn't get the duo, But it makes sense in story that we wouldn't get the duo, because if it's just back to square one, where are we going with the story? You know what I mean? We're not learning anything. It's like it's just more of the same.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if he does go back and get some, and now we still have Grogu and Mandalorian, where's the first off? What's the purpose? Is he going to go back to bounty hunting?
Before he even found Grogu, he was just
he was trying to get Beskar.
He was being Boba Fett.
Yeah.
He was trying to be one of the top bounty hunters.
Yeah. So again, I have to start mentally preparing myself that season 3 and moving forward with Mandalorian, that it's going to be Din Djarin's story moving forward rather than the duo. Now, if it comes into interacting again, that's fine. But again, I don't think they could write off. They can't have their two story anymore. Their story is done.
But see, remember though, he's still got to deal with the repercussions of him taking his mask off. That's
not really. He left.
That's going to get back to the. You don't think it's going to get back to the?
Yeah, but he let.
Who's gonna? Well, who would tell him, Joey? Because I mean, number one, they're all gone. Nobody knows where they went.
I was just gonna say that's still an open-ended story. You don't
think Bo-Katan or the other?
She thinks they're religious zealots. Yeah, she thinks they're religious zealots. They have nothing to do with each other.
Another reason for him to take over Mandalore.
Yeah, that's still an open story for us. I saw Bravo had said that earlier. I thought we were going to see them again. We don't know. He made that point of he was looking for them,
right?
Because he keeps asking who's here or what Mandalorians have you seen? So that he was in hiding with, they are gone. And if you remember, a lot of them died. Remember the pile of
all the armor,
right?
Yeah,
correct. And the armor was there and said no, some got away,
right?
Just kind of like Luke had said,
right?
So. She said some got away, but we still need to know that that's an open story of the armor and where that's going to come into play.
Yeah,
now I think with him with the saber now, as you said, growing.
Yeah,
I think that is where that comes into play. Imagine all of a sudden word's going to get out across the galaxy. He has a saber. They're wondering what to do if our story does progress.
Right.
I think that's when she comes back and tries to be like, oh, you're
no longer a child of the Watch.
The child of the Watch are back in control, and Bo-Katan's
the
like,
whole
he's
mantra of this is the way, all that stuff. That's Joey. He's basically walking away from that, and now he's got this other path of the Mandalore, like really being a Mandalorian in Bo-Katan's way, and ruling Mandalore and building Mandalore back up. So you're right in a sense that he left that order and joined another one. You know what I mean? And I don't know what. There's no punishment for it. It's just that he can't hang with them anymore. I think that's what it is. Like you just cease to be there. You won't have their help. He wasn't
allowed to wear the according to their philosophy. He wouldn't be allowed to wear the helmet anymore. Once he took it off in front of somebody, he wouldn't be able to put it
But
back
they're
on.
the only ones. I mean, there's so many other ones that were like, screw you.
Yeah.
Which was great. That's what we heard from Bo-Katan, especially of what is it that she called him, Scott? Religious
zealot. Oh, he's one of those religious zealots.
Right. Which is like we say, it's like
the pure
a religion
or something. Yeah.
There's different religions out there, and the religions do fight amongst each other. Right. And this is Star Wars way of saying that.
Yeah, which is a cool way of introducing Din as this pure. I have such strict guidelines.
Somebody
to do,
who changed.
And
correct.
His ventures are testing him in every way. Even like I said, on that planet with the woman that he was supposedly falling in love with. He almost took it off. Then he almost let her take it off.
Almost.
Yeah.
I think he took everything off but the helmet. So that's still
his helmet and socks.
Right. Yeah. Or the boots.
He's got Vader socks on.
Stan socks. He had Stan socks in the bucket. And that's it.
Man, we ran through that episode. So I know there's a lot more to talk about, but we need to wrap it. We need to kind of wind it down a little bit. So any last thoughts, anything from the chat or anything like you guys want to?
Mike is saying that he still thinks that the armor is Sabine, and that's a story sticking to it. And
wait till Ahsoka, Mike. She's in Ahsoka. So
yeah, she's in Ahsoka. It's
not confirmed. I'm just saying that it makes sense for Sabine to be in the Ahsoka series. So
yeah, and Papa Schmitty.
Yeah,
Papa Schmitty says that Grogu creates Kylo Ren.
And that's what I was trying to say as far as keeps blaming him for everything.
Huh. Well,
if we get that story.
As far as the jealousy part of it, right? Like
Yeah, if you're always getting blamed for something,
right,
and your uncle doesn't believe you,
right.
Well, if you think about it now, Luke has the child. Luke has Grogu with him. Grogu, as far as we know, is his only student. So right now, his entire world is focused on protecting the child and training the child.
Right. Mm-hmm. Remember, Leia is the one who pawned him off. He didn't ask for Ben, as far as we know. Yeah. Here's your nephew. Well, great. Now I got to feed him.
So when does that happen? Right. Yeah.
Does he get child support?
I don't even have an extra room for him.
And there's a lot of things Luke has to break him from.
Yes.
He has a lot of bad tendencies. He's
right.
He's still a child, so Luke has a lot of work. To get him straight. You know what I mean? And
yeah, because Grogu just seen on the screen of him tearing up the droids, like, yes, because he always loves that so much when Mando did it.
Yeah.
So he's gonna ask Luke, when are you gonna kill somebody?
Right.
Hey, what's going on?
He's like Kylo. He's like telling Kylo, "Hey, pick up the saber. Hey, just poke it at him. Just poke it at him. Just poke Uncle Luke. Just poke him.
Yeah.
He won't get mad. He's a nice
Why
guy.
you let him treat you like that, Ben? I don't think your grandpa would have did that.
You
grandpa would have just.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man. So
God.
I am again mentally exhausted once again, but to relive this episode with you guys and everybody in the chat, and I continue to relive this episode because that's what we got going for another year to rewatch season 2 over and over and over.
The end of the episode was the icing of the cake because
it really
this season was.
You know what it felt
amazing.
like, Ernie? Honestly, it did feel like they can end this series completely and just be like, that was it. That was the adventure of these two. I know that Mandalorian or Din has his other things, but they could, if they even never touched on it again and they put these 2 seasons on a shelf, I'd be like, what a great, like,
it was amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yes, but I want more.
I know, right?
Right. My point is that we didn't need just the finale to say that it was great.
Right. Exactly.
And that's huge nowadays for any show to be able to say that.
Yeah.
Any movie to be able to say that. Oh, well, yeah, the last 15 minutes saved it. I get that. It was amazing. It made us cry. It made us scream, laugh, everything. Yeah. But the whole story and the episodes that we got up to that was just wow.
It was such
amazing.
Again, season 1 was really good. Like, people got into it, and the whole learning about Mandalore or learning about Din and his past and what the creed means to him and taking care of the child and everything. And then season 2 just kind of like, oh wait, here's like opened a door to Din Djarin and said, here's the world of Star Wars. You're gonna find Jedis, you're gonna find dark sabers, you're gonna find more Mandalorians that are not the children of the Watch. There's more of you, and you're gonna find all. I mean, it's almost like we just gave Din Djarin the whole Star Wars saga. Here you go, watch these, and it blew his mind. Now he's thrust in the middle of it, right? He's
what order does he watch him in?
Order of release. Order of
release. Yeah, Hatchet order.
Yeah. So it was such a cool journey in these 2 seasons that we got, and I am so happy that it brought the fan base together because we can all agree I've not seen that much negativity on these things. It really brought, like, this is the Star Wars, fine. If that's bringing you back to full circle, cool. Just be prepared that it is going to start making the sequels make sense. The whole slate is going to.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Nope.
They're not retconning it.
It's what we need.
They're enhancing it, just like Rogue One enhanced The New Hope. Clone Wars enhanced Episode 2. These new slates, Ahsoka, Mandalorian, and the Rangers, in that time frame, are going to enhance the sequels. They will.
And Boba Fett, which takes place at the same time too. Yeah.
Right. This last one enhanced Jedi for me. I had to go watch Jedi.
Yeah.
Because we had Luke, and then you had Bib Fortuna at the end, which I still want an explanation how he was alive.
In Aftermath, there's mention that Bib Fortuna survived. She jumped ship basically before the barge
took off. Awesome. Yeah. There it is. Then that's what I needed.
Yeah.
So
it's an interlude.
That's great. Yeah. Everybody was there. Like it did. I watched Jedi right away, and that's what I was telling you guys.
Yep.
And it made it that much cooler.
It did, man. It really
did. To see Luke come in and in the same robes and like that, and then to know like, oh, you're gonna grow. Like you know what I mean.
See, this is why it's so exciting for us too.
And have a scene.
Why it's so exciting for us too to see Luke at this point doing what he did. It's not that we needed to see him in the sequels. This is what we needed to see him back in 1996, 97, or actually no, in the 99, 2002, and 2005. We needed to see Luke, Leia, and Han's progression story rather than going back to their prequels. I always thought when George Lucas announced, I'm doing 3 more Star Wars movies, but they're going to be episodes 1, 2, and 3 dealing with Anakin and Obi-Wan. And I'm like, well, I already know their story, basically. I mean, okay, they fought. He became Vader. We know this stuff.
You didn't know, Jack. Little did you know that Jar Jar Binks was going to be the greatest character ever introduced into Star Wars.
That's why I'll never show my arm. Okay?
He's still the Phantom Menace.
The greatest Sith Lord to ever live.
Yes.
But I mean, this is why it means so much when we see this kind of stuff with Luke at this time frame doing it, because that's the sequels that I think the sequels that we really wanted was back in the day.
Yeah.
Before Phantom Menace. Of Lucas, because the actors would have been of age. You know what I mean? It would have been perfect. It would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But again, hey, we got what we got. We got the prequels, okay?
And we
now look what we're getting. Yeah, look what we're getting.
And look what we're getting. Look what we're getting.
Bless
yeah.
good.
So, I think we need to go. I'm done. I'm done.
And I'm spent.
Guys. So again, anything left over for you guys to hit up, and we can kind of call it a day.
Obi-Wan 19771 says Mando season 2 was the Empire Strikes Back of TV seasons.
Yeah. Meaning popularity and epicness, yes.
Yeah.
It didn't end on the Empire note.
On a dark note. Yeah.
It didn't end on Empire note, but as far as like being the best of the best, yes.
The dark that we get is that they're separated.
Yeah.
But not in a tragic way like Han and
Luke.
And stuff, so.
Right.
Yeah. It wasn't tragic.
There's still hope.
Dang, what if that's the only way that Luke can transfer him on an X-Wing because there's no other extra seat? So he has to put him in carbonite? Don't worry, it's just cold real quick.
Yeah.
And he has it like under the carriage.
Luke doesn't wear that little chest plate thing, the little breather apparatus that he's got on his. He just takes that off and puts a little baby carrier on there.
Yeah.
Puts the kid right there.
So does he change before he gets in the X-Wing? He puts
right?
on the X-Wing suit?
Right. Is that what took him so long to get out?
Right.
Yeah. Had to take it off.
Yeah.
Put his cloak on.
He told the wait, hold on.
Yeah.
He was trying to get those stupid hoses off, and they got all kinked. And then he needed help.
He's tripping on those white straps that wrap around his legs. Yeah.
No, Mando, Mike, I think it's safe to say Jar Jar won't be joining us. I mean, he's not dead or anything, but last time we left him, he was on Naboo as a street jester. So, and that's in the Aftermath books also.
Oh, wow.
What if Luke starts his first Jedi school on Naboo?
And it's like, I could do this.
To honor his grandma. And that's where you see Jar Jar.
No, that's a good idea, actually.
Right? It's a beautiful planet.
Yeah. Yeah.
From politician to street jester.
Yeah, he went. Because the Senate was dismantled, and so there's nothing for him to do. So he went to Naboo, and he was still a joke, and so he was found on the streets as performing and juggling, and
it was actually kind of a really sad story.
Yeah,
it was kind of depressing.
All right, guys. I think with that, let's get out of here. Scott Solo.
Hey, I'm over here.
Yes, over here. I see you.
No, the other side.
No, on my screen, you're over here.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I have the master screen.
Let me derail this one more time. You can follow me on Instagram or Facebook, The Art of Scott Solo. You can also find us on Facebook at the Sarlacc Digest Central, where we just get together, hang out, and talk Star Wars. This is it for us for the year, for the main show.
Live show,
so
right.
Come on in and hang out with us in there. Talk to us. Ask us questions. Ask us what we got for Christmas. Christmas is coming. I love Christmas.
Yes.
I'm wearing stupid ears because I like Christmas. Find us there.
Awesome. Bootleg Joe.
You can find me here at the Sarlacc Digest on Facebook now and then on the Sarlacc Digest group. And you can find me on IG at bootlegjoe_760, where I'm going to be, now that I got a little bit more free time, trying to get some more photography in.
Awesome. Yes, and our thumbnail will be your pick.
And it is so good.
It is really, really good
on this one, Joey.
Thank you very much.
I think that's the worst bad word we've had all day.
Awesome. And Fallen Fett, fresh off of the Toy Migo show.
Yes, our quickie minis. And thank you to the chat Migos who showed up today and who subscribes and everything. We greatly appreciate it. As just like over there, all we can ask for you guys is to subscribe and share us. Obi-Wan 1977. Thank you guys for all you guys do. You do a great job. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everybody that was here today. Mando Mike, Papa Schmitty. We also
Scott Bravo
had that. Nick the Greek. Who else was here earlier? I'm trying to go back up to it.
Nugget McGrath.
Giovanni was here.
Yep.
Santo 1414. We had a lot of people jump in tonight. Jake Peterson. Adam S. was here. We greatly appreciate you guys chatting along with us, creating your own discussion. That's what we do. It's a positive vibe over here.
Yep.
We want you guys to know that.
Tell your friends. Have your friends subscribe. If they're Star Wars fans, please.
Yeah.
Come aboard.
Welcome.
This is what we do. This is kind of what we turned into for Mando Mondays as a breakdown, but then our regular show will be news, discussion, line talk, theories. We try to go only off of what's been reported, not talk about negative or, hey, we heard a rumor. So that kind of makes us a little bit different.
Right.
You guys know me over there from Toy Migo, so I appreciate it. And now this is a chance for us to nerd out about Star Wars, and this is all we do. So I greatly, Papa Schmitty, greatly appreciate you guys coming over, joining, subscribing today. But then go tell your friends, share it. All our episodes are found on all your favorite podcast streams. Our shows are done now here live on YouTube, and then you can check us out at sarlaccdigestpodcast.com. So with that part being said, I'm the Fallen Fett. I'm here when we do this, and then also with the Toy Migos, and we got our quickie minis on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 5 p.m., and then our regular show Thursday nights at 9 p.m.
Awesome. Okay, everybody, be safe. Have a happy holidays. Everything you do, celebrate safely, and we'll see you all next year. So with that, Scott,
keep it nerdy, guys.
Merry Christmas. Tell your mom I said hi.
Whoa.
That's what Nick said.
Whoa.
That's what Nick said.
It is. That is what Nick said.
I'm just reading, man.